3, 2, 1. What's up, guys? We're on the same day filming, so welcome to Blow Steak episode number 4. Today we're gonna talk about a topic that actually a couple of Blow members mentioned it in the Blow community, and we thought that it's gonna be super useful.
Yes.
And that is, for new learners, what should you focus on?
Yes.
In the dance in the dance world.
Yes.
As a new learner, I think that what you guys should be focusing on is doing more. I think it's very easy, or it's so normal and easy to fall into that context of, oh no, I'm a completely new dancer. I need to make sure that I'm getting it right. From the start, you're not gonna get a lot of things right as a new learner. Okay, as a new dancer, everything is gonna feel a bit awkward. You know, you're gonna look at your instructor's basic arm and go like, what is she doing? You know, but sometimes just don't overthink and just keep doing what your instructor is telling you. Generally, if you're doing something really weird or awkward, your instructor will be like, maybe you want to just let your hands down, okay? Don't do this too much, okay? So try not to perfect things right from the start. Just do more. If you're going to a basic level 1 salsa class, make sure you can do your right turn, do your left turn, do your Suzy Q. You don't have to perfect it. You know, it should do it right. Like, it shouldn't be wrong. Like, you shouldn't be doing it on the wrong weight shift, for example, right? You want to make sure you get your weight shift. You want to make sure that you're on rhythm, and that's all you should be focusing on.
Yes. And just to ride on what Brenda just said, which I think could be a point number 2, is to make sure that you go into class with the right mindset. For me, a lot of times you see a lot of new dancers or new beginners who come into class, and the thing is, you're usually a bit shy. You're afraid of looking silly. You're afraid of making mistakes, and all those are big hindrance to actually just doing it. You know, so you just need to let go a little bit of that. You're here to try something fun, start something new, and of course everybody looks like silly at first. You know, you may not do something right, so it's okay to make mistakes, but you want to go in with the mindset that you're here to have fun. It's okay to be a bit shy at first, but you're not gonna let that stop you from going for it and just learning the dance form.
I think when it comes to dancing, it's very easy to feel shy, especially if you're a new dancer. It's very easy to feel, oh, I'm shy, or you know, I don't want to twist my hips, I don't want to do my basic arms, you know, but all these things are gonna stop you from actually experiencing it to the fullest. Right? Just put yourself out there, have fun. No one's gonna judge you, and if they do, that's their problem. It's not a reflection of you. Everyone is gonna look a little bit awkward on their first few classes.
I love to see the, for lack of better term, slightly awkward but dare to have fun students in my class. They're the best.
Point number 3. This may not apply for everybody, but I do think it's very important to have some consistency as a beginner, as a new learner. A lot of times when we pick up something new, we tend to not go crazy about it and be like, I want to commit every day into it. That's not what I'm asking you to do, but having a consistency of saying, look, if I'm taking that one class every week, I gotta make sure that I take it consistently. Or if you want to add more consistency, which I highly recommend, which is take one class and then take 10 minutes to practice by yourself before you come for the next class. You know, as a beginner, it's so easy to forget everything you've learned from the first class to the next. So doing a bit of homework to go like, oh, what did I learn in the last class? You know, oh, I learned a basic step, I learned a side basic, you know, and then go for the next class. I think that's very helpful.
Yeah, for sure. Point number 4. A lot of times when you go for a class, it's likely that your instructor is going to give a lot of techniques, or you may in your mind also think about a lot of techniques that you want to learn or start putting into your dance. But what you want to try and do or focus on is to pick the technique that is going to set the strongest foundation for the rest of your dance journey, right? We always talk about layering of techniques in our classes, in the sense that which is the most important thing for you to learn. For example, if I give you 2 examples, if you're going for a bachata class, if you have, for example, having weight shift, and then you have mastering your bachata hips. hip movements. The thing that you should be trying to focus on from the start, the technique that you should be focusing on is your weight shift, because your weight shift sets the foundation for you to do your bachata hips.
Yeah.
Rather than doing it the other way around. You don't want to focus on your bachata hips and then later to get your weight shift, you're gonna have to unlearn all the bad habits that you have already learned. So try to make sure that the technique that you're focusing on is the thing that is going to be the basis that makes everything better. So what some basic techniques that are very important for beginners to focus on: core engagement, for example.
Knowing your posture, when to put your weight below your feet. I know that for beginners it's very difficult to identify them. So maybe the first thing you need to do is identify. And this is why in our programs, we're very progressive and we layer on techniques the right way. So when you're taking our programs, for example, make sure that you don't skip. Right? Because we're layering techniques above one another. Another thing that I think beginners tend to be shy about is to ask their instructors. It could be as simple as asking my instructor, what is more important? It's so important to make sure that you're learning in the right priority. That's such an important thing. Alright, next point. Point number 5 on what to focus on as a beginner. I think that it's very important as well to set realistic goals and know what and how to set them. So for example, realistic goals looks like making sure you can perfect a single spin before you go on to doing a double spin, for example. It can be as simple as making sure your timing is perfect before you go for the next level of class. You know, because timing is so important. So number 1, set realistic goals. Don't get frustrated because you're into your month number 2 and you're expecting to look almost as good as someone who has been dancing for 2 years, right? I know it's so easy to compare ourselves to others, but at the end of the day, dance is a skill. It takes time, it takes practice. So make sure you're realistic about that. And then how to set goals. At a beginner level, it can be as simple as, okay, maybe you're taking a beginner's course, a beginner's program, and before you move on to the next program, your goal should be that you know everything from the first program before you move on to the next. Let's say in the first program, I'm teaching you how to do a left turn, but you don't know how to do it. In the next program, when I try and do a broken left turn, or if I try and do a left turn with a styling, or left turn with a more intricate timing, or broken left turn, and you have not learned or memorized how to do your left turn properly, you will not progress.
And just to emphasize on one point that Brenda made, one thing that is super important for beginners to focus on is timing. Mostly because firstly, you're new to, I assume, fairly new to the dancing or the dancing world. You really want to be able to train your listening ear. So a lot of times we get students who come in and even when they listen to a piece of music, they aren't able to identify, for example, where your 1, where your 5 is, or what counts go with the music. So for me as a beginner, because we all dance to music, right? As a beginner, focusing on your timing, learning how to count to the music, and also learning how to count on your own and be able to match your footwork to the counts is really important. So that once you turn on the music, you are able to dance with the music, not just dance on your own.
Alright guys, I have another point for you, and that is a little bit more fun, which is that as a beginner, I think it's also important that you find a support system and you make friends, because doing it with friends makes it so much more fun, and most importantly, it keeps you more accountable in your learning progress. When you have a support system, it just makes everything more fun.
Dance should be a social activity. So you don't want to go into it feeling lonely, or, you know, you're there to make friends. So make some new friends.
A lot of times when you make a new friend and when you make a friend from dance, you tend to talk more about dance. You know, you have that buddy to go like, hey, what did we learn in the last class? You can meet them like 15 minutes before class just to go like, can we just practice a little bit? You know, it just makes the entire experience a bit more exciting than just you and yourself.
And it makes you want to return to class too, you know, gives you another motivation.
Can set goals together as well.
Coming to my last point, for beginners, it's super important for you to video yourself. First of all, I think it's very nice to video yourself just so you can see your progress. And it's also a really important tool for you to identify. For example, I don't want to say the word mistake. You shouldn't be afraid to make mistakes, but videoing yourself gives you a way to identify maybe one or two things that you want to
Your
fix.
timing,
Yeah.
whether you're shifting your weight.
Exactly, where you can
Yeah.
improve. So that is really important. And then when you video yourself as well, you're giving yourself a bit of added motivation to kind of practice.
Yeah, because you're
Yeah.
like, oh, in the next video I want to look better.
Yeah.
You don't have to necessarily share it, but
Yeah.
trust me, when you're a beginner and you're new, you're gonna look a certain way, right?
Yes.
But then 2-3 months later, you're gonna look back and go like, oh my goodness, I have improved so much,
Yes.
and it's a great motivational
Yes, for sure.
reference
Yeah.
for you to go like, oh my god, I want to do better.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. So these are the things that you should focus on as a new learner in the
Yes.
dance scene. Please share with us more in the comments
Yes.
if you can think of any. And we'll see you in the
Next episode!